Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. I'm Rick Olson and we're getting ready to bring you Colfax High School Viking Girls Basketball. Tonight, the 11-6 Colfax Vikings, who are 6-2 in the Dunn St. Croix Conference, are getting ready to take on the 6-10 Boyceville Bulldogs, who are 1-7 in the conference, in a Dunn St. Croix Conference contest. Now, the Vikings are coming off a 52-45 victory over the Mondovi Buffaloes last night, while the Bulldogs are trying to bounce back following their 52-44 loss to the Spring Valley Cardinals last Thursday. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Bulldogs and the Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll take a look around the Dunn St. Croix Conference to see where things stand. Then we'll send it out to Colfax High School, where our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we are the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's girls Dunn St. Croix Conference game between the Colfax Vikings and the Boyceville Bulldogs. The Vikings are coming off a 52-45 win over the Mondovi Buffaloes last night in the makeup game for the snowed out game from January 12th, while the Bulldogs look to bounce back following their 52-44 loss to the Spring Valley Cardinals back on Thursday. Now, in that Viking game against Mondovi, the Vikings trailed through the entire first half, finally closing the gap to 4 points at halftime. In the second half, the Vikings started hitting a few more shots and took control of the game and gained the victory. Now, leading the way in that effort was 5'7" senior guard McKenna Shipman, who hit on 8 field goals, including a three-pointer, and went 1 for 2 from the free throw line for 18 points. She was followed by 5'6" junior Kaysen Goodell, who put in 8 points, and Bryn Sikora, who added 7 more. Now, today, the Vikings have their sights set on keeping the pressure on the Dunn St. Croix Conference leaders, as well as maintaining their position in second place in the Dunn St. Croix Conference. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs are currently trying to remain competitive in the conference race. Now, in that loss to Spring Valley, the Bulldogs were led by senior Sarah Stoveren, who hit on 3 of 9 from the floor, including 2 three-pointers, as well as going 3 for 6 from the charity stripe for 11 points. Senior Hannah Dunn followed by going 3 for 8 from the floor, including a three-pointer, and hitting 3 of 4 from the free throw line for 10 points. Freshman Aubrey Moline and sophomore Zoe Hellendrung also added 8 points each. Sophomore Chelsea Holden led the Bulldogs in rebounding in that game by pulling down 6 boards. Now, coming into tonight's game, leading the way for Boyceville in scoring is Dunn, who is shooting 31% from the floor, including 24% from three-point land, as well as 54% from the free throw line, while averaging over 10 points per game. Now, right behind her are Moline and Stoveren, who are averaging 8 and 7 points per game, respectively. On the boards, the Bulldogs are led by Holden, who's grabbing nearly 6 rebounds per game, with Stoveren pulling down 5. So far this season, leading the way for the Vikings in scoring is McKenna Shipman. She's averaging over 14.5 points per game. She's being followed by Goodell, who is accounting for over 8 points per game, along with Hajdukovic, who's putting in over 7 per game. On the boards, the Vikings are being led by McKenna Shipman and Hajdukovic with around 5.5 and 5 rebounds per game, respectively. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get Viking head coach Courtney Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again, we're talking with Viking girls head coach Courtney Serrar. And Coach, last night the Vikings found themselves in a real scrap before coming out on top against the Mondovi Buffaloes, 52-45. Your thoughts about that game?
Yeah, I definitely don't think it was our best performance for sure, but a win's a win, and it wasn't definitely for a lack of effort or trying hard. I think we tried really hard. We just, defensively we weren't quite in the right positions at the start, and we missed a lot of easy ones, and it was just kind of a recipe for a tough first half, but I was impressed with the way that they just, forgot about it and came out second half and did a better job. And, credit to Mondovi. Like I said before, they have the pieces of a good team for sure. They have two really good guards and a good post player in the Lund girl, and, they gave us their best shot for sure.
They came out ready to play, that's for sure. And, yeah, your girls were a little rough on the defense early in the game, but about midway through the first half, it seemed like that caught on fire. And even though it kind of sounds like a broken record, it appears as though this game was a really good example of when you're not hitting shots, solid defense can keep you in the game until those shots start to fall. Your thoughts on how that worked out for the Vikings?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I think we had a couple possessions where we missed, 4 wide open layups in a row, and that and a combination of some careless turnovers just, gave Mondovi quite a few more, I think, possessions with the ball. And it was, hard to kind of get going, but, then we started to see the ball go through the basket, and, Kenna made a huge 3 and Bryn made a huge 3 to end the half. And I think that kind of just, took the pressure off a little bit. And, I really challenged them at halftime to just have better help defense. And I really think that, they held their 2, leading scores well under what they allowed in the first half. And, like I said, a win is a win, and, happy to come out of there with a W. So.
Now, tonight, the Vikings will take on the Boyceville Bulldogs. That's a team the Vikings defeated fairly handily earlier this season. What can you tell us about the Bulldogs?
Yeah, I think they've been struggling as of late with some, injuries here and there. And, like anytime, regardless of who we're playing, we just want to come out and take care of business and try to get a little bit better. And I'm looking for that tonight, and to kind of build off of, some of the things that we did yesterday. I'm sure, they took a look at the score last night and are telling you kids, hey, they played last night. They didn't play very well. They're probably tired. Let's try to take advantage of it. So we just have to make sure we come out and I would love to see us, just respond a little bit more.
Now, that kind of leads into what I was going to ask you, that with last night's game being a challenge and physically demanding for the Vikings. And since the Vikings defeated the Bulldogs 68-22 earlier this season, could there be the danger of this being a trap game for the Vikings?
No, I don't think so. I think, everyone's always going to give us their best game no matter who we're playing. But I really believe that if we play our best, that there's no way that they can hang with us, and I'm sure that will be the case.
Well, Coach Serrar, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully, with a victory tonight, the Vikings will keep the pressure on in the conference race.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
We all know what it's like to feel alone. But it just takes one new connection. Want to get out of here? To empower many.
This is unbelievable.
It doesn't take a superhero to bring forces together. We all have the power to reach out.
Let's go!
And help someone feel like they belong.
Pretty cool, huh?
We are stronger together.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. Today, the 6-2 Vikings will face the 1-7 Boyceville Bulldogs. Now, in Dun St. Croix action last Thursday, the Elk Mound Mounders defeated the Mondovi Buffaloes 61-21, while the Spring Valley Cardinals topped the Boyceville Bulldogs 52-44. The Colfax Vikings won a defensive struggle against the Durand, Arkansas Panthers 38-28, and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers defeated the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 56-40. Then on Friday, the Spring Valley Cardinals defeated the Elmwood Plum City Wolves in a makeup game 70-30. And last night, the Colfax Vikings defeated the Mondovi Buffaloes 52-45. Now that leaves the Dun St. Croix Conference standings as follows. In first place are the unbeaten at 7-0 Elk Mound Mounders. In second place, and a game and a half back at 6-2, are the Colfax Vikings along with the Durand, Arkansas Panthers. Now tied for fourth place are the Mondovi Buffaloes and the Spring Valley Cardinals, who are at 4-4 and 3.5 games back. Sixth place belongs to the 3-4 Glenwood City Hilltoppers, while the 1-7 Boyceville Bulldogs are in seventh, and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves occupy eighth place. Now tonight, the Dun St. Croix Conference has a full slate of games. That includes the Vikings taking on the Boyceville Bulldogs in Colfax, while the Durand, Arkansas Panthers travel to Elk Mound to face the Mounders. Meanwhile, the Glenwood City Hilltoppers will host the Spring Valley Cardinals, and the Mondovi Buffaloes will visit the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Tonight, the Vikings are trying to keep pressure on the conference leaders. Now, coming into this game, the Vikings are averaging 53 points per game while giving up only 32. Now, on the other hand, the Bulldogs are scoring 40 while allowing 46. So with that said, we'll have all the action of tonight's Dun St. Croix Conference battle right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, I'll join our broadcast crew at Colfax High School as we bring you today's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Boyceville Bulldogs. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Colfax Viking Girls Basketball is on the air.
To the right side, they feed it down underneath to Hajdukovic, who lays it up and in. Jeanette Hajdukovic with 2.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network, along with NLWN-TV, is excited to bring you Colfax High School Girls Basketball.
No good on the shot. Rebound taken away by Shipman and puts the shot up and in.
Join us as we follow the Vikings while they battle their way through the Dun St. Croix Conference.
To Nigaman, she launches a 3. She hit the 3!
And now out to the gym for today's Colfax Viking basketball.
And good afternoon. Rick Olson here along with Dan Petchow. Chris Olson on the camera, and we're getting ready to bring you Colfax Viking basketball as the Lady Vikings are getting ready to take on the Boyceville Bulldogs. And we've got a few minutes before we get this one started, so as we wait for the game to get started, Dan, why don't you let us know who's going to play tonight?
Yeah, here's the starters for Boyceville. They're going to go sophomore, number 14, Chelsea Holden. Freshman, number 20, Aubrey Moline. Senior, number 23, Hannah Dunn. Senior, number 25, Sarah Stovern. And senior, number 34, Cora Leslie. For the Vikings, they're going to go with 5'6" junior, number 4, Kason Goodell. 5'5" senior, number 20, Meadow Kellner. 5'7" senior, number 32, Jada Anderson. 6' senior, number 40, Jeanette Hajdukovic. And 5'7" senior, number 42, McKenna Shipman.
And those will be the starters tonight. Dan, I asked Coach Serrar, Vikings coming off a big win last night, 52-45 over the Mondovi Buffaloes, which put the Vikings in a tie for second place in the Dun St. Croix. But it was a tough win over Mondovi, and the Vikings handled Boyceville earlier this year by a score of 68-22. I asked Coach Serrar during Coach's Corner if she thought this could possibly be a trap game. I don't think she thought much of the question, to be honest with you. She kind of gave me that look like, are you kidding? But it has a lot of the ingredients necessary to be a trap game, including the fact that the Boyceville JV just defeated the Colfax Bay JV. It wasn't a large scoring game. It was 12-11, but it was only about half a game too. But Boyceville is ready to come and play ball tonight.
Yeah, Boyceville, you know they don't have anything to lose, and Colfax probably they always start out a little slow, and maybe they get a little boost early and kind of jump out ahead. I think that'd be the best idea for Colfax. They want to keep in this rhythm, because eventually they got to come down and play Elk Mountain. You want to be in rhythm, ready to go for those.
Yeah, in fact, that game with Elk Mound, not that we're looking ahead at all, but the game with Elk Mound is next week, Thursday, and make sure you have that one circled on your calendar over in Elk Mound. And Dan's going to keep an eye on the Elk Mound game tonight The Mounders are taking on the Durant, Arkansas Panthers, and that game, I think most Viking fans are Panther fans tonight, because that game, if the Panthers could pull off the upset, will put the Vikings and the Panthers only one game behind the Mounders in the loss column, and with a chance to, it gives them a chance where they control their own destiny for the conference title.
You know, playoffs are still a little ways away, but yeah, you want to make sure all these girls stay healthy and they stay in that rhythm, and you want to be in the hunt.
Well, we're going to send it down to the public address announcer, Mike Hodel, as we're going to get ready for the national anthem and then the player introductions, and we'll send it down to Mike Hodel at this time.
Would everyone please stand if able, remove your hats, and place your hand over your heart to honor the flag as the national anthem is played. High School for tonight's St. Croix Girls Basketball matchup between the Boyceville Bulldogs and your Colfax Viking. Introducing the starters for the Bulldogs: number 14 sophomore Chelsea Holden, number 20 freshman Aubrey Dominion, number 23 senior Hannah Dunn, number 25 senior Sarah Stokeran, and number 34 senior Cora Leslie. The Bulldogs are led by head coach Jay Armstrong. And now the starting lineup for your Colfax Viking. Number 4 junior Mason Goodell. Number 20 senior Meadow Keltner. Number 32 senior Jada Anderson. Number 34 sophomore Bryn Sikora. Number 40 senior Jeanette Ayukovic.
And there's the starting lineups for tonight's game. Those starters once again for the Boyceville Bulldogs. Sophomore Chelsea Holden, freshman Aubrey Moline, senior Hannah Dunn, senior Sarah Stoverin, and senior Cora Leslie. And Leslie will be jumping center for the Bulldogs. For the Vikings, it's the usual five of Goodell, Keltner, Anderson, Hajdukovic, and Shipman. They're all seniors with the exception of Kaysen Goodell. Waiting for the Vikings to come out on the floor. They'll be right out here in a second. And now the Vikings are coming out. Jeanette Hajdukovic to jump center. And the official steps into the circle. Ball goes up, and the tip is controlled by the Bulldogs. They come across the timeline with Dunn on the dribble. She's between the circles, feeds it over to the left side to Moline. Moline back out to the top of the key to Holden, then over to the right side. That's Dunn. They swing it back around to the left to Moline. Back out high, that's Moline. Out to Stoveren. Stoveren to Dunn. Pass back into the corner. Oh, she just barely saved it. That's Sarah Stoveren on the dribble. Tries to feed it over to Aubrey Moline, and there's a whistle and a foul.
That's going to be a 34.
That's Bryn Sikora. Made a mistake on the starting lineup there for the Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
Jada Anderson did not start. Or did she?
She's in.
Actually, McKenna Shipman didn't start.
Oh.
That's who's missing out there. Pass goes down underneath. It's intended for Hannah Dunn. That's what we get for asking an assistant coach for the starting lineup instead of the head coach. Dunn to inbound the ball. She gets it into Leslie. Leslie back to Dunn in the right corner. She brings it out between the circles. Tries to feed it over to the side and fought for, but chasing it down is Holden. Gets it over to Dunn. She's got it between the circles. Feeds it over to the near side to Stoveren. Stoveren to Dunn. Over to the right side now to Holden. Back over to the top of the key and then over to Dunn on the near side. Then they get it out to Stoveren and over to Moline. Now to Stoveren and to Dunn. Leslie with it now on the right side. She's high, wide, and left. To Holden and to Dunn. To Stoveren. Ball gets knocked loose. This is Goodell heading down the floor. Puts the shot up. It goes through and she got fouled. So the foul is on Chelsea Holden. First foul on her, first foul on the Bulldogs, and the +1 is good for Kaysen Goodell. Vikings on top, 3-0. Hannah Dunn with it. Vikings with full court pressure on. They get it across the timeline. This is Moline. Feeding it over to the right side to Stoveren. Stoveren on the dribble, then she gets it out to Moline. Moline at the top of the key. Feeds it over to the left, back out high to Leslie. To Moline on the right side. She's high, wide, and right. Ball gets knocked loose. Anderson picks it up, and it gets knocked out of bounds by Anderson. So it'll be Bulldog ball. Vikings on top, 3-0. An early score from the Durand and Elk Mound game down in Elk Mound is the Panthers are leading the Mounders 7-5 in the first half. Stoveren with it, takes it into the lane and puts the shot up. It's no good. Pretty good collision in the lane that time. Nothing got called. Goodell with the ball between the circles for the Vikings. Gets it over to the left side to Anderson. Back out high to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic over to the right side to Keltner. Keltner down low to Sikora, and the ball gets knocked out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. Looked like Leslie got her hand on it. Keltner into Hajdukovic, puts up the bunny, no good. And the rebound comes down to the Bulldogs. 14:40 remaining in the first half. Stover drives into the lane, puts it up, it's no good. Whistle and a foul. Stover's going to go to the line for two. Foul is on Meadow Keltner. That's her first, second team foul on the Vikings. Shot is up, it's no good. And we have some substitutions for the Vikings. Shot on the way, that one's good. And we have a substitution for the Bulldogs. Jaden Stevens is in for Stoveren. So Jordan Bovey has it, gets it over to Sierra Shipman on the near side, back out to Hajdukovic at the top of the key. To Jordan Bovey to Hajdukovic from the baseline, and it's good. 8-footer from the baseline, and the Vikings are on top 5-1. And we have a whistle and a foul being called as Hannah Dunn got into a trap. It's going to be the second foul on the Vikings. That's going to be a foul on Jordan Bovey. Ball comes in. It was to Helendrung, and then it got tied up by the Vikings. So we have a jump ball, and it'll be Viking ball. Sierra Shipman down to the baseline. She fed it to Nigaman, but Nigaman started breaking the opposite direction just as she released the ball, and it went out of bounds. But it was tipped by the Bulldogs. So Jordan Bovey with it, over to J.C. Bovey, back out to Hajdukovic on the left side. To Nigaman at the top of the key to Jordan Bovey, drives down the right side to the baseline, gets it over to Shipman, back out to Hajdukovic, and then out top to Jordan Bovey. Over to Sierra Shipman, to the free throw line, to Nigaman from three. She hit the three! Autumn Nigaman with the three. We'll have to find out what the issue is with McKenna Shipman. She is on the bench with her leg up and under a towel. Looks like it's on ice over there. And we do have a timeout on the floor. Vikings on top, 8-1 on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Dairy State Bank encourages you to save smarter for your retirement by maximizing possible tax advantages. We offer traditional, Roth, and rollover IRAs with a wide variety of investment options. It's not too late to invest up to $6,500 of possible tax-deferred earnings into an IRA for 2023 tax purposes, or $7,500 if you're 50 or better. Call or stop by for more information. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Boyceville to inbound the ball. I read that score in that Mondovi, or check that Durand Elk Mound game incorrectly, because I'm reading it from a distance because Dan has his phone way down on the floor, so I can't read it. But blame it on Dan if anything else. He gave you wrong scores last night too. But the Mounders are leading 7-2 early in the first half there. So Moline has the ball for the Bulldogs, gets it out to Dunn between the circles, over to Moline on the right side. Feeds it down low, saved in bounds by Holden. Gets it to Stevens. Steven dribbles it back around to the right side. Hands it off to Moline. Moline takes it down into the right corner. Gets it back out high. That's Helendrung. Helendrung over to Stevens. Stevens with the ball. Tries to get it over to Moline. It gets tipped away by Nigaman. She stops. Hands it off to Shipman. Shipman out to Nigaman, and then over to Bovey, to Shipman, to Nigaman. Nigaman out to Jordan Bovey, to Hajdukovic, over to Shipman on the left side. Tries to feed it down low to Hajdukovic, who wasn't quite ready for that one. It went out of bounds. Ball comes in, full court pressure by the Vikings. Moline on the dribble. Takes it into the forecourt, gets it over to Stevens. Stevens out high to Dunn. Just outside the top of the key. Over to the right side. That's Stevens. Takes it down to the baseline, puts it up, it's no good, goes out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. We have some substitutes coming in for Boyceville. Vikings on top, 8-1, just under 12 minutes to go in the first half. Vikings get the ball in bounds. Jordan Bovey between the circles, feeds it over to the right elbow to Nigaman, down into the lane to Hajdukovic. Thought about going up with it, they kick it back outside. Three-pointer on the way is no good. Hajdukovic tips the rebound around, and it's tied up, and we got a jump ball. And we have some substitutions for the Vikings. 4 in, 4 out. Nigaman stays in, otherwise it's a complete line change. Bulldogs to inbound, full court pressure again by the Vikings. Moline with it. Takes it over to the right side. She's still on the dribble out between the circles. Guarded by Goodell. Gets it over to the right side to Stoveren. Stoveren has the ball tapped away, but is chased down by Engman. Engman with it at the free throw line. Hands it off to Traxler. And then back out to Moline. Then to Holden. Now they get it out to Stoveren. Stoveren with it at the free throw line. Almost lost the handle. Gets it out to Moline. Moline over to Stoveren. Stoveren near the free throw line to Moline. Takes it towards the elbow, then kicks it over into the corner. That was Engman with the shot. It's no good. Goodell with the ball. Feeds it over to Anderson down in the right corner. Down underneath to Nigaman, who lays it up and in. Autumn Nigaman puts the Vikings on top 10-1. Nigaman with 5 points. Ball gets tapped away from Moline over to the right side to Stoveren. Brings it back over to the near side. Gets it over to Engman. And as Moline takes it down the lane, she took an extra step or two.
We have a foul on the floor.
Well, that foul is going to be on Goodell. I thought I saw the official twirl his arms like a travel. But maybe that's the reason she took the extra step, as she got fouled. So the Bulldogs inbounded. It gets tapped away. Taken out of there by Goodell. Goodell with it. Takes it down the lane. Feeds it off to Nigaman. She puts it up. No good. Rebound taken down by Holden. Holden gets it over to Dunn. Dunn brings it across the timeline. Feeds it over to the left side. That's to Traxler. She gets it back out high to Dunn at the top of the key. Taking it over to the right side. Back out high to Stoveren. Now over to the left side. This is Engman. Back out high to Traxler and then to Stoveren. Stoveren cross court pass to Traxler. And tried to pass it out to Holden, intercepted by Goodell. Coast to coast she goes and puts it in. And we have a timeout being called by the Bulldogs, with the Vikings up 12-1, 9:21 remaining in the first half on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Austin and Nikki Pritchard are just what the doctor ordered. In fact, they are the doctors and they're ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Taking a check on the game over in Elk Mound with about a minute and a half to go in the first half. It's the Mounders on top, 10-4 over the Durand, Arkansas Panthers. Here in Colfax, Vikings have a 12-1 lead over the Boyceville Bulldogs, 9:21 remaining. Pass comes in, it's intercepted by Anderson for the Vikings, gets it over to Goodell. She's got it between the circles. Taking it over to the left side. Stops, turns around, gets it out to Anderson, over to the right side to Keltner. Into the lane to Hajdukovic. Ball got knocked loose, picked up by Keltner. Feeds it in to Sikora. Gets to Anderson, cutting through the lane, but she can't get it to fall. And Bulldogs come away with it, and Dunn brings it down the floor. Hannah Dunn on the dribble, coming over to the near side. Takes it back to the top of the key, now down the right side of the lane. Ball gets tied up down underneath, 34 against 34. Cora Leslie and Bryn Sikora. Vikings have the ball with the possession arrow. So Goodell dribbling it down the court. She's got it between the circles, over to Anderson. Back out high to Goodell, over to the left side to Keltner. Cross-court pass over to Sikora. Puts up a three. No, it's no good. Rebound, tipped around, taken away by the Bulldogs. Down the floor they come with Hannah Dunn. High, wide, and left. Takes it down the left side of the lane, then kicks it out to Stoverin. Stoverin from three, rattles around, no good. Rebound taken down by Hajdukovic. To Goodell. Goodell at the top of the key, over to the right side to Anderson. Drives to the elbow, back out to Goodell. Goodell feeds it down underneath to Hajdukovic. Short jumper is good. Jeanette Hajdukovic with 4 points on the night. Hannah Dunn on the dribble from the left elbow. She puts it up and she hit that one. First field goal of the night for the Bulldogs. 14-3, Vikings on top. Kaysen Goodell with it between the circles. Gets it over to the left side to Keltner. Back out to Goodell. Over to the right side to Anderson to Hajdukovic in the lane. Back out to Keltner. Three-pointer on the way. She hit the three. Meadow Keltner with the three-pointer. 17-3, Vikings on top. Hannah Dunn on the dribble. Ball gets tapped away and out of bounds. Last touch by Hannah Dunn. Hannah did not believe that call.
Yeah, good job by Jada Anderson to block her out and get the turnover.
Goodell with the ball. Feeds it over to the right side to Anderson. Back out high to Goodell. Over to the left side to Keltner. Back out to Goodell. Over to the right side to Anderson. Cross-court pass to Keltner. Puts up a three and she hit another one. Meadow Keltner with 6 points on the night, courtesy of a couple three-pointers. Hannah Dunn with it. Loses the handle, but it's picked up by Moline. Then they get it over to Stoverin. Out to Dunn. Dunn drives down the left side of the lane, gets tied up down there. Almost lost her balance, got it out to Moline. Moline with a jump stop, gets it over to Hannah Dunn. It goes across the timeline. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Boyceville. Ball gets handed into Leslie, out to Hannah Dunn. Puts up a three and she hit it. 20-6, the Vikings are on top by 14. Kaysen Goodell with it. Feeds it into the lane to Hajdukovic to Anderson. Drives the baseline, puts it up. It goes in and she caught the foul. I think the foul's on Cora Leslie. Still waiting for them to put it up on the board. It is Cora Leslie with the foul.
Yeah, good job by Jada Anderson to give that little ball fake and got her in the air and gets the end to one.
So 22-6. Jada Anderson at the line with 5:55 to go in the first half. Shot goes up, it's good. 23-6. Boyceville to inbound the ball. As now Moline has it. They get it in to Stevens. Stevens feeds the ball down the floor. That's to Hellendrung. Takes it down into the right corner. Out to Moline. Tries it from the baseline. Shot got partially blocked by Sierra Shipman. And the Vikings get the ball. Nigaman with it at the elbow. Gets it out to Shipman. Then to Hajdukovic. Feeds it to Shipman. Breaking through. And she put it up and in. Sierra Shipman with another two-pointer. Her first two of the night. Down the floor comes Moline. On the right side, she has it now out at the top of the key. Over to the right side to Hellendrung. Hellendrung back out to the top of the key, and then they swing it over to the right side. Shot goes up and in. That was Moline. Vikings bring it down. Sierra Shipman takes it straight to the hole, and in it goes. She saw about a 45-degree angle to the rim, and she took it. And she made the Bulldogs pay. Moline feeds it over to the right side. That's Hellendrung. Back out high to Stevens. Then over to Moline on the left side, and the ball got knocked away by Nigaman. And Autumn goes chasing it out in the hall. Will she return? Yes, she did. Moline to inbound. Looking for somewhere to go. Finally gets it in. That's to Engman. Then over to Hellendrung. Back out to Engman. Over to the near side to Traxler. Traxler out to Moline. Over to Engelman. On the right side. Out to Stevens between the circles. To Moline into the lane, and we have a whistle. Moline's going to go to the line for two, and I couldn't see the other fingers that he held
22.
up. I guess it's on Nigaman.
Her first.
That's the fifth foul on the Vikings. First shot is up, rims around and out. Aubrey Moline at the line. She's their top free throw shooter, shooting about 67%. Second shot is up, and that one's good. Down the floor come the Vikings. J.C. Bovey gets it over to Nigaman. To Jordan Bovey. Tried to pass it over to Hajdukovic, got stolen away, but then chasing it down in the backcourt is Bovey. Jordan Bovey gets it over to Shipman on the left side. Ball gets knocked away from Shipman, gets it to Hajdukovic. Then to Jordan Bovey, setting things back up. Over to Sierra Shipman. Ball gets knocked away by Dunn. Down the floor she comes, puts it up. No good. Hajdukovic with the rebound. Hajdukovic on the dribble. Right down into the lane. Feeds it out to the right side. Shot's no good. Rebound taken down by Engelman. Engelman gets it to Dunn in the backcourt. Comes across the timeline. Jumper from three-point land, nothing but net. 27-12. Vikings on top by 15.
8 points for Hannah Dunn.
Vikings have it on the right side. J.C. Bovey gets it over to Hajdukovic at the top of the key. She feeds it back over to the right side to Shipman. Back out high to Jordan Bovey. Jordan to Hajdukovic at the right elbow, then to Shipman on the right side. Shipman reverses direction, gets it to Hajdukovic down along the right baseline. To Nigaman from three, she hit the three! Autumn Nigaman with three, she's got 8. Down the floor comes Dunn. Feeds it over to the right side to Helen Drung. Then to Engelman, and then to Dunn, three-pointer, and that's another three-pointer for Hannah Dunn. She's got 9 points.
Yeah. She has 11 points.
Well, the scoreboard
threes.
says 9.
Oh.
So maybe somebody else got those other 2. Nigaman with 3. No, it doesn't go. Hajdukovic with the rebound. They feed it down underneath, and it goes up and in by Shipman. And the shot is in and good again by Dunn. Well, Dan says she's got 14. Scoreboard says she has 12. Somewhere along the line, we'll find out. Hajdukovic with it. Out to Jordan Bovey. Three-pointer! Now we're bombing away from the outside. 35-18, Vikings on top. Minute 20 remaining in the first half. Ball gets over to the right side, and it goes out of bounds. It's going to be Boyceville ball. Helen Drung to inbound for the Bulldogs. She feeds it into the right side. That's to Holden. Holden out between the circles. Now feeds it back over to the right side to Helen Drung. Out to the top of the key to Dunn. Dunn to the left elbow. Got the ball taken away by Goodell. We have a tie-up and a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. So Goodell bringing the ball down the floor. Make sure you stay with us for Viking halftime, because coming up we have Jada Anderson as our Viking profile. And speaking of Anderson, she put up a long one, no good. Putback shot is up and in by Sikora. 37 seconds remaining in the half, 37-18 for the Vikings. They feed it out to the left side, gets it to Helen Drung at the top of the key. To Dunn. Dunn dribbles it out between the circles. Over to the right side to Stevens. She's high, wide, and right. Back out to the top of the key to Helen Drung. To the left side to Dunn. Dunn drives down to the baseline. She's double teamed down there. Ball's loose and taken away by Keltner. 3 seconds remaining. And the shot is up, and it's no good. So at halftime, it's Vikings 37, Boyceville Bulldogs 18, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Jada Anderson, who is a senior here at Colfax High School. Jada, we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
Yeah, I play volleyball and softball too.
Okay, and how'd the volleyball season go for you?
It was really good, I think.
Okay. Now, when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has that been?
I started in 4th grade, I think, and I had a lot of fun playing up until now, so.
Okay. All right. So what's the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
Just being like a good team and like having each other's backs and yeah.
All right. So when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I hang out with my sister a lot and yeah, I like to read.
Okay. All right. A few rapid fire questions for you here. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
Flavor?
Cookie dough.
Oh, good choice. Okay. Hot dog, burger, or brats?
Burger.
And what do you want on that burger?
Ketchup.
Just ketchup. Okay. Favorite color?
Purple.
Is there a reason for that?
Mm-mm.
No, just like purple.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If you could have a superpower, what do you think that might be and why?
Probably read minds.
Okay, the ability to read minds. Of course, if you have that ability, you have to have a superhero name to go with that. So what's Jada's superhero name?
Jedi Jada.
Jedi Jada. Okay. May the Force be with you. Your favorite NBA or WNBA team?
I guess the Bucks.
The Bucks, okay. All right, how about a college team?
I don't really watch.
Okay. All right. Is there a basketball player somewhere along the line who's inspired the way you play your game?
Probably Caitlin Clark, I think.
Okay. All right, very good. Hey, we're talking with Jada Anderson today on Viking Profile. And Jada, what are your plans for after high school?
Go to college and trying to play a sport like volleyball, so.
Okay. All right. How about a shout out to the family?
I just want to thank you for all your love and support throughout all my sports, and yeah.
Very good. When people watch Viking games, what number do you wear, and where are we going to find you on the floor?
I'm number 32, and probably be in the 3 position, so.
Okay. All right. We want to thank Jada Anderson for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. Basically, he had to relearn everything. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
And we're back here at Colfax High School where the Vikings have a 37-18 lead over the Boyceville Bulldogs. Dan, real quickly, why don't you let us know how that scoring went?
Here's the scores right now for the Bulldogs. They're led by number 23, Hannah Dunn. She has 14 points. Aubrey Molina has 3, and Sarah Stovern has 1. For the Vikings, they're led right now by number 22, Adam Nigelman. She has 8. We have Kason Goodell with 5. Meadow Keltner with 6. Jordan Bovio with 3. Sierra Shipman with 6. Jada Anderson with 3. Brent Sikora with 2. And Jeanette Hajdukovic with 4. Already have 8 girls with points for Colfax.
And an update on McKenna Shipman. What happened was she rolled her ankle during warm-ups tonight. So she was slated to be a starter and rolled the ankle, and she was not able to put any weight on the ankle as they came out from the locker room in the second half. She got a lot of help from the coaches to get over there. And we're just about ready to start the second half. We had to wake Chris up. He was taking a nap over here. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Chris Olson on the camera. And the Bulldogs will have the ball to start the second half.
Chris, you want a little Mountain Dew?
Hannah Dunn to inbound the ball for the Bulldogs. And the clock now says 18 minutes, so we're ready to start the second half. Dunn has the ball, gets it over to Moline in the backcourt, and brings it across the timeline. Feeding it over to Hannah Dunn on the right side. Out to the top of the key to Stoveren, to Moline on the left. Drives into the lane, gets it out to Leslie, then to Stoveren, to Moline, to Dunn on the left. Back out high to Holden. Holden to Moline. Then from the top of the key is Stover, and three-pointer on the way is no good. Rebound taken down by Goodell for the Vikings. By the way, in the second half over in Elk Mound, it's the Mounders 19, the Durand Panthers 15. Pretty close game going on over there. Goodell with the ball out between the circles for the Vikings. Gets it over to Hajdukovic on the near side. Then to Anderson. Anderson takes it back out to the top of the key. To Sikora. To the elbow. Feeds it over to Hajdukovic. Back off to Keltner. Keltner gives a nod to Goodell. Goodell takes it into the lane. Gets it over to Hajdukovic. Out to Anderson. Anderson over to Sikora. Sikora pulls up her dribble and now gets it over to Keltner in the right corner, then feeds it down along the right baseline to Anderson. No good, it's the shot. And the Bulldogs have the ball. Leslie had the rebound and hands it off to Anderson, or to Hannah Dunn. She's got it over on the left side, tries to drive in, and we're going to get a foul called on Sikora.
Might see a little bit of little past history here. Coach Courtney Suarez had to leave the court, so I would guess maybe Coach Doucette will fill in for her. I'm not for sure how that'll go.
Looks like she was helping McKenna Shipman off the floor. Dunn's second shot is up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Anderson. Anderson across the timeline. Feeding it over to Sikora on the right side. Takes it down to the baseline. Jumper from there. Off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound, but a foul on Hajdukovic. And the Bulldogs inbound it. Moline on the dribble through the backcourt. She brings it right through the C in the center of the floor. Pulls up her dribble. Gets it over to Stoveren on the right side. She's high, wide, and right. Out to Moline at the top of the key. Thought about a three, then gets it over to Holden. Then over to Dunn at the top of the key, to Leslie on the left, or on the right. To Moline, then over to the left side to Dunn. And Stoveren drives the baseline. It's no good. Rebound, outlet pass to Sikora. Stops at the baseline. Gets it out to Goodell. Puts up a three off the back of the iron. No good. Stoveren with the rebound. Down the floor come the Bulldogs. Stoveren on the dribble. She takes it between the circles. Gets it over to Holden. Holden to Dunn. Then to Stoveren on the left. Back over to the right side now to Dunn. Down into the corner to Leslie. Back out to Dunn from the free throw line. Tries to put it up. We're going to get a whistle and a blocking foul. And that's going to be on Sikora. It's her third team foul on the Vikings this half. Hannah Dunn at the line for two. First shot is up. It's good. By the way, that's 15 points for Hannah Dunn, and I just want everybody to understand, Dan was correct with his numbers. The scoreboard was incorrect. He went down and checked with them at halftime. Second shot was no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Goodell with the ball. Out in the center circle. Feeds it to Hajdukovic at the left elbow. Pass into the lane. Gets knocked away. And down the floor come the Bulldogs. Dunn with it, feeds it over to the right side to Holden. Holden out to Moline. Moline takes it down the left side, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. I think it's on Anderson. The look on her face is like, what? Fourth foul on the Vikings, but it's not. It's a foul on Sikora. It's her fourth. With 14:31. Bryn Sikora with 4 fouls. Inbound pass, shot goes up, no good by Helendrung. J.C. Bovey chases down the loose ball. They get it over to Nigaman. Her shot is no good. Rebound taken down by Stevens. She's on the dribble across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right side to Helendrung. Helendrung out to Dunn from three-point land, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Hajdukovic feeds it out to Jordan Bovey. Bovey between the circles, over to the left side to Shipman, then to Nigaman, and as they feed it into the lane, we get a whistle and a foul. That foul is going to be on Helendrung. That's her first team foul on the Bulldogs in the second half. 37-19, Vikings on top. Pass comes in to Shipman, lays it up, she overlaid it, and the rebound comes down to Dunn. Hannah Dunn brings it across the timeline, feeds it over to the left side. Three-pointer on the way from Moline is no good. Rebound by J.C. Bovey, and she's got it at the top of the key, right down into the lane. Tries the underhanded layup and got fouled going in. And that'll be on Helendrung again. It'll be her second team foul. J.C. Bovey at the line for two. First shot is up off the front of the iron, no good. Jaden Traxler back into the lineup for the Bulldogs. As Chelsea Holden takes a seat. Second shot goes up, it's good. (38-19). Vikings doubling up the Bulldogs. Traxler, they swing it around to the left side now to Dunn. Puts the shot up, it rolls around and goes off. Rebound on the floor, we're going to get a jump ball called. Jaden Stevens and Autumn Nigaman tied that one up. Jordan Bovey with the ball through the center circle. Feeds it over to the left side to JC Bovey. On the left wing, back out high to Sierra Shipman. Feeds it back over to JC. Then to Autumn Nigaman. To Sierra. She's got it in the lane, puts it up, can't get it to go in, tries to put back and gets called for the foul. Or gets a foul called. She's going to go to the line, in other words.
That was on 20 for
That'll
Boyceville.
be Aubrey Moline. Coming into the lineup for the Bulldogs is Ellie Engeman, replacing Hannah Dunn. Ball comes in to Hajdukovic. They feed it out to Jordan Bovey. She gets it out to Nigaman. Over to Bovey, to Hajdukovic. Feeds it back out to Bovey. Now to JC Bovey. Then to Shipman. Shipman at the free throw line gets it out to Bovey. To the other Bovey. Jordan puts it up, no good. Put back shot by Sierra Shipman is good.
Sierra has 8 points tonight.
Bulldogs with the ball over on the left side. Hellendrung takes it to the free throw line. Gets it out to Engeman. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Vikings. (31-25) over in Elk Mound, with the Mounders leading the Panthers in a close one. Vikings on top here, 40-19. Bulldogs inbound the ball over to Engeman over on the left side. She brings it around high. Then over to the right side to Stevens. Back out high to Hellendrung. Drives into the lane, puts it up, no good. She got fouled. Fouls on Nigaman. That's her third. Fifth team foul on the Vikings. Zoe Hellendrung with her first shot is good. Sierra Shipman back into the lineup for the Vikings, and Nigaman will take a break. Second shot. That one's also good. Goodell with the ball. Down across the timeline. Feeds it over to the left side. Hajdukovic out to Goodell. She's on the left wing. Out to the top of the key to Keltner. Then they feed it to Shipman, and we're going to get a foul on the floor. That foul is going to be on Ellie Engeman. It's her first, fourth team foul on the Bulldogs. Vikings to inbound, gets it out to Anderson. Anderson feeds it out to Keltner. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound chased down by the Bulldogs. And down the floor comes Stevens. Stevens over to Hellendrung on the right side. Out high to Moline. Three-pointer on the way off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound batted around, picked up by Moline. Drives in, puts it up, no good. And we're going to get a foul. And that foul is going to be on Sierra Shipman. It's her first, sixth team foul. So Moline at the line for two. First shot is up, it's good. A bunch of substitutions now for Boyceville. 2:01 or 2 minutes remaining in Elk Mound as the Mounders are on top 33-25. And the second shot is up and good by Moline. Hannah Dunn comes in to replace her now. 40-23, Vikings on top, 11:03 remaining in this one. Hajdukovic has it, feeds it into the lane as Goodell drives through and puts it up and in. 42-23.
Goodell's got 7 tonight.
And the feed out to the top of the key to Stoverin, over to Hannah Dunn on the right side. Out to Leslie, and then over to Helendrung. Three-pointer is good by Zoe Helendrung. Or check that, that was Stoverin. Sarah Stoverin hit that three-pointer. Keltner to Hajdukovic, cross-court pass over to Goodell. To Jordan Bovey, who backs out. Sets things back up over to Goodell on the right side. Takes it down into the corner. Feeds it back underneath Anderson, who lays it up and in. Goodell kind of bluffed a penetration, backed out, and hit Anderson, who cut in behind the penetrator. Passed down underneath to Leslie, who puts it up and got fouled. Jeanette Hajdukovic called on that foul. It's her second, 7th team foul. But Leslie at the line for 2. First one's up, it's good. 44-27. Next shot is up, that's also good. Vikings up by 16. Down the floor comes Goodell. Gets it to the left elbow to Hajdukovic. Hands it off to Keltner. Keltner tried to feed it to Hajdukovic, but it was tipped out of bounds by the Bulldogs. And the Vikings will maintain possession. And we're getting a timeout call by Boyceville. 9:43 remaining. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining?
Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Doctors Austin and Nikki Pritchard and their staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
Back here at Colfax Hospital. Colfax Hospital. I'm thinking about the animal hospital there. Colfax High School. Vikings to inbound the ball as they're leading 44-28. They get it into Goodell. Back out high to Jordan Bovey. Three-pointer on the way off the iron. No good. Rebound. Chased down by Holden in the corner. And she finally brings it down the floor. On the left side. Feeds it over to Stoverin. Stoverin over to the right side now. That's to Schlew. Schlew has it, tries to put it up, and it's out of bounds off the Bulldogs. Chelsea Holden didn't think she had touched it, but that's what the official said happened. And down the floor come the Vikings. Jordan Bovey with it on the left side. To the top of the key, feeds it to Hajdukovic. Her shot's off the mark, and down the floor come the Bulldogs. 8:55 to go. Ball comes over to the near side to Leslie. Out to Stover and to Dunn on the left. Drives down to the baseline, puts it up. It's no good. Keltner with the rebound, and down the floor she comes. Meadow Keltner takes it all the way down, tries to go up, got fouled. So she will go to the line.
That's going to be on 34 for Boyceville.
Cora Leslie. It's her second, 5th team foul. Meadow Keltner at the line. First one's up and in.
With 20 seconds left, Elk Mound is up 36-26.
Second shot now by Keltner is up. It's good. J.C. Bovey comes in to replace Keltner. 46-28, Vikings on top by 18. And down the floor comes Aubrey Moline. She feeds it over to the near side to Hellendrung. Back out high to Holden. Holden over to Moline, and she lost the handle, but it was tipped. That's why she lost the handle. So it'll be Boyceville ball. Ball comes in and out high. This is Holden with it between the circles. Gets it over to the left side to Moline. Back out high. That's Engelman. Then to Holden. And they swing it back over. And now from the top of the key, three-pointer on the way by Moline is no good. Rebound taken down by Sikora. She feeds it over to the right side to Bovey, brings it back around. And to J.C. Bovey. Into the lane, shot goes up. It's no good. But getting fouled on the way in was Sierra Shipman. So Sierra's at the line shooting too. First shot is up. Back of the iron, no good.
Foul was on 33 for Boyceville.
Ellie Engelman.
It's her second.
That's the 6th team foul. Shot goes up. That one's good by Sierra Shipman. 47-28, Vikings on top. Bulldogs bring the ball down the floor. They get it over to Schlew, who feeds it out to Moline. And then over to Engelman on the left side. Back out to Moline at the top of the key. Takes it into the lane. Tries to go up. It's going to go in. It's going to count. And she drew the foul going up. And I'm looking to see the fouls on Nigaman, number 4 against her. Shot is on its way. It's good for Moline. 8 points for Aubrey Moline. She's the freshman out there. Jordan Bovey with the ball. Feeds it out to JC at the top of the key. Takes it down the right side, and she got tripped. Tripped by Holden. Dan, did you happen to catch a final score?
38-28. Elk Mound gets the win.
And we have some substitutions for the Bulldogs. 5 in, 5 out. It's J.C. Bovey at the line. Shot goes up, it's good. And she'll get a second one. We are in the bonus. Second shot on the way. That one's also good. Nothing but net that time. 49-31. Vikings on top. 7 minutes remaining. Dunn with the ball at the top of the key. Gets it over to the right side to Traxler. Back out high to Stevens, and then over to the right side to Dunn. Ball gets knocked loose. Picked up by Stevens, and then out to Stoveren. Stoveren over to Traxler. Ball got tied up. She had it out there, and all of a sudden, Sierra Shipman said, hey, if you're going to hold it out there, I'm going to grab it. Dunn with the ball to inbound it for the Bulldogs, and she gets it into Stevens. Stevens feeds it over to the right side to Dunn. To Stoveren at the top of the key. Over to Stevens. Then they get it back around to Stoveren on the right side to Dunn at the top of the key. Takes it over the left side. Then to Leslie, drives to the left baseline, gets stopped. Out to Stoveren, who also tries the left baseline. Shots off the bottom of the glass, and the Vikings come away with it. They feed it down the floor to Jordan Bovey. Then out to Sikora. Sikora, high, wide, and right. Takes it between the circles. Over to Nigaman on the left side now with Shipman. And they get it back over to the right side. Sikora with it. Over to Nigaman in the right corner. Nigaman gets it out high to J.C. Bovey. Three-pointer on the way off the iron, no good. Hit the rim, hit the backboard, and came off. Hannah Dunn with it between the circles. Gets it over to the left side. This is Stevens. Out to Stoveren at the top of the key to Hannah Dunn. Hannah Dunn out to Leslie, then to Stoveren. Three-pointers on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by Jordan Bovey. Bovey drives into the lane, puts it up, it crawls over the front of the rim, and it's good. 51-31, Vikings by 20. Coming up on 5 minutes remaining. To Stevens over on the left side. She's high, wide, and left. Out to Stoveren, top of the key. To Hannah Dunn on the right. Dunn lost the handle going in, but they're going to say she got fouled. She's going to go to the line for the 1-and-1.
If that's Sikora, that'll be her fifth.
No, I don't believe
nope.
so.
24.
Nope. Jordan Bovey with her second foul. Shot goes up by Dunn, and it's through. Rattled around, came out, and dropped right back down through. 51-32. Second shot is good. 51-33, 17 points. Means the Vikings have held Hannah Dunn to 3 points in the second half. Jordan Bovey gets it over to J.C. Bovey on the right side. Out to Nigaman from the top of the key. She hit the three! That's 11 points. That's her season high, I believe. Yeah, that's the high for Autumn Nigaman this year. Pass gets down underneath to Leslie. She puts it up off the glass and in. 54-35. Vikings bring the ball down the floor. Coming up on 4 minutes remaining. They feed it over to the right side to Shipman, down underneath to Sikora, who lays it off the glass and puts it in the hole. 56-35. Boyceville across the timeline. Down to the top of the key. Over to the right side. That's Stevens. Now they get it back over to the left side. Three-pointer on the way is no good by Stoveren. And down the floor come the Vikings. Jordan Bovey with it. She's got it between the circles over to the right side to Sikora. Then down inside to Sierra Shipman. Tried to put the shot up, lost her balance. And the ball comes away to Boyceville. Hannah Dunn with it. In the left corner, gets it out to Stoveren. She takes it to the top of the key. Gets it over to Traxler. Traxler back out high to Stevens. Stevens to Stover, and the pass into the lane got batted away by Sikora, and then they get it over to Jordan Bovey, who brings it down the floor for the Vikings. Under 3 minutes to go. And we're going to get a carrying the ball violation against Jordan Bovey. She kind of turned it over. Dan's kind of rolling his eyes on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. She wasn't moving. She just kind of standing there dribbling, and I don't know if he saw the hand sliding under the ball or what he saw.
We have some substitutions coming in for the Vikings. Leila Hurlbert, Clara Hajdukovic, and Jennifer Maves all into the lineup. Bulldogs with the ball over on the right side. This is Holden. Gets it out high to Moline. Moline takes it in the lane, puts it up. It's no good. Tries to save it in bounds, goes off the backboard, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul as Moline is going to go to the line for two. And the foul is going to be on Jennifer Maves. First shot on the way. It rolls around and good. Second shot is up, and it's also good by Aubrey Moline. 56-37. Vikings bring the ball down the floor. Jordan Bovey with it. Gets it over to Hurlbert on the right side. Out to Shipman. Over to Hurlbert. Puts up a long three. She hit the three! Leila Hurlbert with a three-pointer. 59-37. Hellendrung with it, and then they swing it over to the right side to Moline. Puts a shot up. It's partially blocked. Coming away with it, they get the ball to Hurlbert. She takes it down the left side, tries to put it up. It got blocked, and the Bulldogs come down the floor. Schlew with it, gets it over to Moline. She put up a three and hit it. 59-40. Vikings by 19. Minute and a half to go. Jordan Bovey over to Shipman. And in and out is a shot by Jennifer Maves from three-point land. Couldn't get it to fall. Ball comes out to Moline, out to the top of the key to Hellendrung. Drives down the lane. Shot goes up. It's no good, but she got fouled. I think it was on Clara Hajdukovic. Nope, they call it on Jennifer Maves. Second personal. Shot goes up. It's no good by Hellendrung. Second shot is up. Hits off the front of the iron. No good. Rebound, and we're going to get a jump ball called as about 6 different arms got wrapped around that ball. Maves inbounds it for the Vikings to Jordan Bovey. She gets it out to Shipman. Over to Hajdukovic. That's Clara Hajdukovic. Over to Hurlbert. Then to Maves, and then out to Bovey. To Maves on the right side. To Hajdukovic down underneath. Feeds it over to Shipman. Back out to Hurlbert. She puts up a three. No, off the front of the iron. Rebound chased down in the corner by Hellendrung, and then they get it off to Moline. Moline at the top of the key. Over to Holden on the right side. Down to Hellendrung in the lane. Puts a shot up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Coming up on 25 seconds. Shipman over to Hurlbert. To Bovey. See if the Vikings are going to kill some clock here. To Shipman. To Maves. To Hurlbert. To Hajdukovic. Bovey, she's on the dribble, and there's the buzzer. Final score in tonight's game, Vikings 59 and the Boyceville Bulldogs 40. And we'll have a complete wrap-up of this right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Menominee Eye and Optical help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comroe provide both comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract and LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eye care for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, located at 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality, personalized care for you and your family.
Dairy State Bank encourages you to save smarter for your retirement by maximizing possible tax advantages. We offer traditional, Roth, and rollover IRAs with a wide variety of investment options. It's not too late to invest up to $6,500 of possible tax-deferred earnings into an IRA for 2023 tax purposes, or $7,500 if you're 50 or better. Call or stop by for more information. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
I feel like you get taller every time I see you.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game.
Is it time yet? It's time. Let's go and chat for dinner.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Time now for Viking Post Game, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking Post Game.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, where the Vikings have come away as 59-40 winners over the Boyceville Bulldogs, and they lock up second place, or they climb into second place all by themselves tonight. And we are just about to be joined by Viking head coach Courtney Serrar. And I'll hand you this. And Coach, congratulations on a 59-40 victory tonight.
Thank you.
And you moved to all alone in second place in the Dunn St. Croix as the Durant, Arkansas Panthers gave the Mounders a chase tonight, but just not quite enough. But in fact, losing that one by 10, I believe, or thereabouts.
But anyway, tonight, I guess the first question we have to ask is, how's McKenna?
Yeah, she's, she just stepped on somebody's foot. I think she'll be fine. So just playing it with caution and making sure she's healed before we try it again. So.
And that's a pretty good idea. She looked pretty tender on it at halftime, but then by the end of the game, she was able to walk under her own power. So that's a positive sign. But even without her, that was a good test for the girls because she is kind of an anchor of this team. And even without her, the girls played pretty well. Got a lot of kids in scoring.
Yeah, for sure. I thought a lot of people contributed to the box score. I thought our defense was a little lackluster tonight. I feel like we were, pretty handsy when we're normally not. We do a pretty good job moving our feet. But otherwise, you can't complain. It's a good win. Anytime your star gets hurt, it's going to be an interesting night. And I thought the girls did an awesome job, adjusting to, life without McKenna. And, it seemed like a lot of people were willing to step up and, fill in the points that she usually contributes for us. So it was good to see.
Well, and the being a little handsy and being a little slow with the feet tonight could have been a little bit of weary legs after the tough game last night and then coming back into back-to-back games. Boyceville responded and gave you what you could handle. The girls stepped up and played, but Boyceville came ready to play ball tonight. Yeah, for sure. Anytime you have to play back-to-back, it's tough. We didn't, get a good look at anything that they run, because we were busy worrying about our game on Monday. So I was impressed with their ability to just, come fresh and, gave it their all. And, we're looking forward to 2 days of practice and then Spring Valley on Friday. Well, and how about that Autumn Niggeman catching fire and kind of helping to make up for missing McKenna? Yeah, Autumn shot the ball. Yeah, Autumn shot the ball super well. It was nice, for her to, I think between her and Sierra, one of those two probably led us in scoring. So it was good to see them, contribute. And I thought, Meadow whistled in 2 threes, and it was a good shooting night for us, which is good. And as of late, it's been kind of a rare thing, so a good shooting night we'll take any time. Well, congratulations, Coach. Coming up on Friday, you have the Spring Valley Cardinals over at their place. What are you expecting there? Yeah, it's another, team who I think, has a really great guard. That's kind of been our, thing that we've seen lately in the Ducklow girls. So Jada will have, another tough assignment, but I know, she's willing to step up and she'll do whatever she can to stop her. So. Well, good luck in that one. Thank you for stopping by tonight, and congratulations on the 59-40 win over the Boyceville Bulldogs. And we'll be right back as Dan has all of his numbers ready to go on Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV is excited to once again be your host for Colfax High School Girls Basketball throughout the 2023 through 2024 season. Our next game will be on Friday, January 26th, when the Vikings will travel to Spring Valley, Wisconsin to take on the Spring Valley Cardinals. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Friday, January 26th.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 are excited to once again be your host for Colfax High School boys basketball throughout the 2023 through 2024 season.
This is what we came in for!
Our next game will be on Thursday, January 25th, when the Vikings will host the Durand, Arkansas Panthers. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-2 begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 on Thursday, January 25th.
And we're back here at Colfax High School where the Vikings knocked off the Boyceville Bulldogs 59-40. And Dan, why don't you tell us how we got to those numbers?
Yeah, here's the scores for Boyceville tonight. They're led by number 23, Hannah Dunn. She had 17 points. Aubrey Molina had 13. We had Hella Drong with 2. We had Sarah Stovern with 4. And Cora Leslie with 4. For the Colfax Vikings,
Before you get into how many people on the Vikings, you just flipped over to the Vikings and I saw that score sheet. How many scorers do we have there?
Yeah, we have 10 girls that scored tonight for Colfax.
That's a great thing for a team. And the one who didn't score of the usuals is McKenna Shipman. Well, she didn't see the floor.
Right.
So everybody pretty much, Clara did not score. Jennifer Maves picked up a couple of fouls, so she got into the books, and everybody else got in with points. Go ahead and let us know what those were.
The leader tonight for the Colfax was Autumn Nigaman. She had 11 points. Then we had Kason Goodell with 7, JC Bovey with 3, Meadow Keltner with 8. We had Jordan Bovey with 5, Sierra Shipman had 9, Jada Anderson had 5, Bryn Sikora had 4, Jeanette Hajdukovic had 4, and Leela Herbert had 3.
And that 8 points for Meadow Keltner is also a season high for her. And I'm looking here. I don't think anybody else hit a season high. Autumn Nigaman and Meadow Keltner each hit their season high. So a nice night of shooting for the Vikings.
Yeah, and they went 8 for 10 from the free throw line.
And that's almost unheard of for the Viking girls. Take that anytime. And that's a good time to start hitting your free throws when you've got Spring Valley coming up on Friday, and then a week from Thursday, that battle against the Elkmount Mounders coming up. And if nothing else, the Durand, Arkansas Panthers losing that game 38-28 showed that the Mounders are beatable. And even though they're unbeaten at this point, they are beatable, and so the Vikings need to keep that in mind.
Yeah, Colfax is going to have to make sure they bring their A-plus game when they play Elk Mountain.
And actually, if they don't bring their A game against Spring Valley, that also could be that trap game that we keep talking about. The thing that might actually keep that from being a trap game, talking with Dave Shipman, McKenna's dad, who helped us out with the scorekeeping last night, I asked him how McKenna was, and he said she's in a little bit of pain. And I said, will she be ready by Friday? And he said, no, we're just hoping she's ready by Thursday. And that's actually the smart way to play it. Have her sit another game and let that ankle heal up. And
yeah, when you have that many girls that can score points, they played good defense, and they know that they need to step up when some of their players go down.
And so it's a great opportunity for them as well. So don't forget to join us here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Friday night as the Viking girls travel over to Spring Valley to take on the Spring Valley Cardinals in a Dunn St. Croix matchup. Live coverage begins with Viking pregame beginning at 6:40 p.m., and that's going to be followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Colfax Girls Basketball Friday night on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. But even before that, you can join us on NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network on Thursday as the Viking boys are going to take on the Durand, Arkansas Panthers. That'll be right here in Colfax. That's also a Dunn St. Croix matchup, and the Panthers are sitting in first place on the boys' side of things. Viking pregame is going to begin at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's Viking boys basketball Thursday night on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-2, and Viking TV. The Viking dance team is going to compete on Saturday at their regional meet at D.C. Everest High School in Schofield. So they've got a little bit of a road trip to make. Don't forget that tonight's Colfax Viking Girls Basketball game is brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. Let Doctors Austin and Nikki Pritchard and their friendly staff take care of your pet. C&K Construction, your concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who've been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical with quality personalized care for you and your family. And Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN
NLWN-TV and Viking TV. So, for Chris Olson on the camera and Dan Petchow, this is Rick Olson. Final score, once again, Vikings 59, the Boyceville Bulldogs 40. You're tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.